Para bellum soru. For an ancient family such as mine, one that originated from Sicilian royalty, a motto like, "Prepare for war," was fitting. I just hadn't expected to hear it uttered from my baby brother's lips this morning. Not without his usual glib delivery. "Keep on driving. Don't stop until I say so." A random had snarled at me before I'd heard Costanzo's warning when I settled in my car. That sweet, sweet serenade had been compounded by the digging of the tip of a gun into my spine through the soft cushion of the driver's seat. The wielder of said gun hadn't identified himself as belonging to a particular faction, and because I was Aurora Valentini, I had a lot of people who disliked me. So it would have been helpful if he had declared his allegiance to whichever penny-ante organization he belonged. The gun dug into my back again as the stranger spat. "You know you shouldn't always listen to someone's bad press," I drawled as I scanned beyond the parking lot. Guards at the correctional facility where Alberto De Laurentiis was held were currently dealing with a lockdown situation. Alarms blared loud enough that they were hurting my ears, even from this distance. And prison officers were running around like headless chickens in response to the "prisoner down" radio alert. My fear was that Alberto was the prisoner down. The reality was that I could be the next person to die at High Desert. The strategist in me racing to pin this hijacking on a faction. Knowledge was power. I'd just received what I assumed was a proof-of-life video from Stan, and from the lack of incoming calls from my twin, I'd hazard a guess and say I was the only one who'd received the file. Not Lucio. That had to mean the kidnappers knew he was away, and that I was in charge. And this guy in the back of my car hadn't referenced Stan's words at all, hadn't shoved my face in them, hadn't been smug in victory. So, 2 enemies?
That Aurora Valentini's something special, Don. I cut Bruno a look, seeing he'd waded into Bert's old office with a cup of espresso in one hand, his cell in the other. "Get out. I'm still pissed at you for showing those pictures to the council," he scoffed. "That was Palulu, not me, and I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about this." My capo passed his phone to me, and I stared at the pictures on the screen. Blood and... was that a nose? "What am I looking at?" "No idea. Don't know who it is either. I'll speak with the guard who called it in. Nino ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but he's good with his fists and quick to react. Usually. That's why I put him on her detail," he grunted. "All I pieced together through his whining was that he and Ricardo were trying to do their jobs and wanted to call it in, but she wouldn't let them until he got away, and that she's the psycho behind this." He waggled his phone at me. Scrubbing a hand over my face, I muttered, "He's saying Aurora did this?" "Apparently. When? Somewhere between High Desert and where her guards were parked." My mouth gaped. Who the fuck would she get into a fight with in a prison? Bruno's cell buzzed before I could finish the question. I shoved the phone at him to let him answer it while grabbing my own so I could call her. She didn't pick up. Studying the time, I frowned. Her plane wasn't due to take off for another 40 or so minutes. "Where are you?" I barked when she eventually deigned to pick up the damn phone. "On my way back to the palazzo," was her grim retort. "What the hell's going on, Aurora? I just got shown some pictures. Stan's been kidnapped. I've been consulting with—" "Stan's been kidnapped?" I shouted. "You buried that lead, Rory. You're coming back here, not heading to New York?" "Yes. How did he get to the airfield last night?" "I'll look into it." My jaw worked. "We'll figure this out, Aurora. He's my family, too." A soft breath whispered in my ear. "Why do you think I'm coming back to the palazzo and not flying straight to the city?" It wasn't the time for smiling, but my mouth twitched. She was letting me in.